I am standing in front of the Union Presbyterian Seminary, a center of growth and spiritual connection for many people. But today, it's the beginning of our story.
This compound of religious education has played a key role in the path this area has taken throughout history.
The construction of this campus happened at a time of significant development. The surrounding band of residential neighborhood built up around this central point.
At the time of this building's construction, very few of the buildings surrounding this area existed.
But those buildings were not the first. Just one block away is the Laburnum House, a building that was the site of much tragedy and conflict throughout time.
This building, constructed in 1903, is actually the second of two buildings to stand in this location. This first Laburnum House, constructed all the way back in 1809, was destroyed in a fire in 1883. The house was then reconstructed along with the real estate boom that brought with it most of the surrounding area. The Laburnum House was the home of a man named Joseph Bryant, a notable historical figure, friend, and beneficiary of one Louis Ginter, the namesake of this neighborhood.
The other buildings being constructed at this time were no less grand, and some of them were even a part of Louis Ginter's estate at some point in time. This home was a gift to a friend of the Ginter family, and it was rumored to have been purchased by that family friend from Louis Ginter for less than $1. Louis Ginter was one of Richmond's wealthiest men at the time. Investor, philanthropist, Confederate officer, and real estate developer, he presented himself modestly, and for that reason, him and his small family were well liked. His niece, to whom he left a majority of his fortune, was a woman named Grace Aarons. She went on to fund the construction of many buildings in the Richmond area, and at least 8 in Oregon Hill, including our own building, the Grace Aarons School.
Louis Ginter's legacy is scattered throughout Richmond. His primary residence, a Richardsonian Romanesque mansion in central Richmond, now serves as an administrative building for Virginia Commonwealth University.
While Ginter Park is not renowned for its retail establishments, and it's actually relatively difficult to find any within the bounds of the neighborhood, just outside of the neighborhood's limits are two notable options, both Bellevue and MacArthur, both home to several restaurants and retail establishments that provide resources for the community.
The restaurants in MacArthur feature a Mexican restaurant, a Mediterranean restaurant, a pizza restaurant, and several others, as well as several retail locations and apartment complexes. Housing is the primary use of real estate in the Ginter Park neighborhood. A wide variety of impressive single-family homes can be found in architectural styles all the way from this to this.
There are several central locations for the neighborhood, including a nearby walking track, several parks, and the Louis Ginter Recreation Association, or LGRA. LGRA plays host to an event space, a gallery space, a basketball court, and even several clubs. But its primary modern use is the community pool, a central hub for the area that many people take advantage of. LGRA has served many uses throughout time. It's been home to at least 3 schools, offices, a martial arts dojo, but its primary use and what it was originally created for was the same use that it has now, a recreation facility.
This neighborhood is changing as quickly as the rest of the world, and new facilities are being created all the time. As recently as 2019, new apartment complexes were built, replacing a recreational area and previous apartments of a lesser quality.
A significant contributor to the developmental path of this area was a combination of 2 things: the Richmond trolley system and a place called Pine Camp.
The Richmond trolley system was an important innovation at the time of its creation, and towards the beginning of the 20th century, it played an important role in the path of one specific location.
This is Pine Camp, a historical center for medicinal recovery. Starting in the 1900s, this building and the land around it was being used as a tuberculosis treatment center. And with the growth of the trolley system, a new line reaching this area was created. This led to a growth in the real estate market that started a boom in this area.
Because of the new access to this area and the significant resources presented to a new portion of the population, those seeking the country air, a new neighborhood sprung up along these trolley tracks, that being Ginter Park.
This neighborhood has a rich history, and the path it takes through time tells us a lot about the culture and community of Richmond as a whole.